All right, well, welcome to the EJ&E Railway. My name is John DePauw. I modeled a J in 1973. It's a railroad that runs a 30-mile radius around the Chicago, Illinois. We interchange with all the railroads that run around there. I basically got into the hobby as a young man, a young kid, at Christmas time with my railroad running around the Christmas tree. And as time went on, I built a railroad down in the mom and dad's basement. And then we got married, and I had a two-car garage that had the railroad in it. And then in 1996, we moved into this house, which you're seeing all the pictures of. And I take the whole basement. It's 2,000 square feet.
What is it you do for a living?
I'm retired now, but I was an electrician for a good number of years. I served apprenticeship in GM at the Truck and Bus in Pontiac, and I got my master's license, and then I went out on my own for about 10 years. And then I went to work for big union contractors, and that's how I finished my career out, was doing that.
What inspired you to create this model railroad?
I had a hard time deciding on what railroad I wanted to model, and I had gotten out one book that lists all the railroads and where they operated from and that sort of thing. And when I came upon the J, they crossed all the railroads and coming into Chicago, and I said, that's what I got to do, and that's what I did.
Could you describe the theme or concept of your railroad?
The scheme of it basically is for operation. We work with car cards, and we run basically probably 4 or 5 shifts to try to get throughout the schedule of all the trains that we run. We run locals, we run coal trains, there's powerhouses that actually require switching, a lot of interchanging with all the railroads coming into Chicago. Some of them go to staging yards, some of them actually come into the yards and work, but that's basically, and I just got into operation. That's my whole, what I like about it.
I noticed your railroad is an HO. Is this your preferred scale, or if you could do it again, would you choose a different one?
Yeah, I think I'd go to S scale just because it's a little bigger and a little easier to see, especially now as I'm getting older. But I obviously wouldn't have the same amount of railroad in this given spot. So that's the only thing. I mean, I love my HO, and it just, with everything that's available, it's great.
What is your favorite part of your model railroad layout, and why?
The favorite part is just seeing the railroad come to life and operating when we have operating sessions. We keep about 17, 18 people busy down here operating for a 3-hour session, and everybody's busy the whole night.
Good answer. Very good answer. That's what really brings these railroads together, is the people, right?
Yes, definitely.
Seeing it all come to life, and the characters and the people involved with keeping it alive.
Yep, and the number of people that you meet that has similar interests.
Do you have a favorite model locomotive on your layout?
No, I think I've got an awful lot of Stewart F units, and really the J didn't have Stewart F units, but I've got both in the green and yellow scheme, or green and orange scheme, and also in the solid orange scheme. So that's my favorite. I've got a couple of the center cabs, but we've got just a variety of things, a lot of the brown switchers and that kind of thing.
Okay. Do you have any unique features about your layout?
Well, it's unique. Is basically it's NCE, and it's all radio controlled, and it works great.
How do you balance realism with functionality when designing your layout?
That's been a process over the last 25 years, I think it's just got to grow. Originally, most of it was single track with passing tracks or double track, and we just come to feel that you end up having to put more passing tracks in, and in order to accommodate people switching plus the mainline traffic.
A lot of trial and error, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. There's been, a lot of people say, well, once I ballasted, I'm not going to make any changes. And that's not been a problem with me. If I see a problem, I'll fix it.
Very good. Very good. What role does technology play in the model railroad hobby, and how do the digital control systems or automation features help along the way?
Well, it just allowed that everybody can operate at the same time. You don't have to have block control and that kind of thing. And my first couple layouts, that's what we had, was block control. And it just becomes people don't pay attention to where they're running at, and they would cross blocks and cause shorts. Well, with the DCC system now that we have, NCE, that's not an issue. And I have light bulb protection, taillight bulb protection on all the pieces of track. So even if we end up with a short on a switch or something like that, it doesn't shut the whole railroad down.
Do you participate in any other model railroad clubs or communities?
We've got a group of probably about 7 operating layouts that we get together with on Thursday nights, and we rotate from layout to layout. So we have almost a session that you can attend every Thursday night. I try to operate like once every 4 to 5 weeks, and most of the guys try to do that.
And that year round?
Yep, year round.
Okay. What was your source of materials for your accessories? Was most of it online, hobby shops?
Yep. Primarily, I worked for a good number of years at training in Hobby Center in Royal Oak. I worked part-time there while I was putting the kids through school, and I didn't take a paycheck. It was all in store credit, and that's how I bought the majority of it. But I also buy a lot of stuff from Hoosier Hobbies over in Chicago. John Egan is the owner of that, and he has furnished a lot of stuff. He's a basement dealer, basically, and I bought a lot of stuff from him.
Wow, that's an interesting way of funding the railroad. I like that.
Yep. I did that for almost 15 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What advice would you give for someone just starting out in the hobby?
Save your money.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, we've got a half a dozen young guys that are probably between 25 or 20 and 30, and they're all starting out, but they start slow, and you just build stuff as you go along. It's not a cheap hobby today.
No, it's definitely not. What's your most memorable moments and or experiences you've had on your layout?
Just seeing the layout come to life. It's just when everybody can come down here and everybody has a good time, and seeing what I've brought together here and made for my operating system and my card system and switching the cards and stuff, just see it to come to life.
Okay, I like that. Okay, anything else you want to add or talk about with your model railroad or the model railroading in this industry?
Well, if you're ever in Lake Orion, Michigan, give me a shout, and we'll try to get you signed up to come and visit if you want to, and if we've got an op session going on, we'll get you hooked up to have an op session.
Okay, I like that. Very cool. It was nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for allowing me to come here and film your railroad and do an interview.
Not a problem.
All right.